Hi everyone, happy Monday. This is Tea with Sylvester. Thank you for joining me. I hope you had a nice weekend and of course you're looking forward to the week. Today is a beautiful day. It's a good day to be alive. It's African Freedom Day. This is a day when Africans celebrate their freedom from colonial powers. So happy African Freedom Day. And of course, I thought this week's tea should be thank you. So thank you to all the people that actually fought for this day. They fought for African freedom, they fought for my freedom, they fought for a lot of other people's freedom. So thank you so much. And of course, during the process, other people died along the way. So thank you so much. In connection with that, I thought, there's so many heroes out there, so many people that did make this day happen, but I will focus on two people. Of course, one is related to African Freedom Day and the other one is Canadian history. So my number one is Dr. Richard Maponya. So Dr. Richard, he's been remembered as someone who was ethical and of course business minded. So he was born in Limpopo, and at the age of 24, he was a self-made entrepreneur. He was qualified to teach, but he decided to go on the route of being an entrepreneur. And at the age of 24, he opened a small grocery shop in Soweto with his wife, Marina. He later ventured into car dealerships, petrol stations, property development, and building a massive business empire from scratch, which is being a trailblazer entrepreneur. Dr. Maponya was the first Black man to secure a 100-year lease for land in Soweto in 1979. I can only imagine how hard it was, because during that time other African countries had independence and others did not. So I can only imagine how hard it was. But anyways, and in 15 years later, after several attempts, he acquired it outright in 1994. It's also on this land that he built Maponya Mall. In 2012, he went on to open Maponya Motor City in Orlando East, making another milestone for the Maponya Group. What an empire, what a legacy. So thank you so much, sir, for fighting for the freedom and of course being an entrepreneur and inspiring other people to be entrepreneurs. I found the story to be very beautiful. I mean, what a legacy. The second one is Miss Viola Desmond. So I was looking for that $10 bill. Unfortunately, I could not find it. So if you do have a $10 bill, maybe try looking to see whose face is on that $10 bill. So the Canadian $10 bill note is one of the most common banknotes of the Canadian dollar. A Black Canadian woman, Viola Desmond, so she was dragged to jail in 1943 by the police for sitting in a whites only section of a movie theater. That was 1943. Talk about being brave. Then, so she was a successful businesswoman who was convicted, fined, and jailed for 30 days for acting the way that she did by sitting in the section where she was not supposed to sit. So her court case was the first non-legal challenge to racial segregation brought forth by a Black woman in Canada. Miss Desmond's story of courage, strength, and of course determination. So it reminds us that big change can start with moments of dignity and bravery. So how are these stories connected? Dr. Mapoya's story, it's about being an entrepreneur, right? Fighting for your freedom and being an entrepreneur. Her story is also about being brave. She was a successful businesswoman who wanted change, and of course she went for it. A lot of people today are worried about going into business because of the fears that comes with it. Now I do not have a stable income, right? With businesses, it's up and downs, and you're worried, you're afraid. What are people going to say about me? Will I be able to make that money? For me, I would say it's all about passion. Your passion, let your passion do the work for you. Once you have the passion, your story will sell. So I went forward to find out what the definition of freedom was in, of course, the dictionary. So according to Wikipedia, freedom generally is having the ability to act or change without constraint. A person has the freedom to do things that will not, in theory or in practice, be prevented by other forces. I'll leave it there. So when we talk about freedom, we're always talking about, hey, I have freedom, but do we actually have financial freedom? When you're working at a job 9 to 5, right, your employer actually is the one who detects, who tells you what time to report to work or what time to leave, when to go on vacation, when not to go on vacation, if your sick days is approved or not. That's not freedom to me, right? Yes, it is freedom, but at a certain point. So according to this definition, it talks about doing things that will not, in theory or in practice, right? When you have financial freedom, you should be able to go to a store, and remember, there's a difference between careless spending and having financial freedom. If I had the total financial freedom today, I should be able to go into a store, look at a pretty dress that I'm interested in without looking at the price tag. Right? The reason why a lot of us look at the price tag is we want to see, we're on a tight budget. We want to find out if I swipe my card today, will it go through, right? I shouldn't be able to look at the price tag if I am totally financially free. If I like something, I get the dress, go to the till, don't even look at the price tag, just swipe. Of course, that's another topic when we're talking about budgeting and stuff like that, but for me, that's how I would define financial freedom. I should be able to reach a point when I am not worried about my finances. I am not worried about the prices of milk, for example. That's financial freedom to me. And usually with business owners, we all thrive to reach that point. If you work from a job 9 to 5, you're limited, right? You're limited to just a job. But if you become an entrepreneur, if you're business minded, you start thinking of how to become financially free, how to change other people's lives. Remember, it's not all about your pocket, but it's also about other people's pockets. We need to win together. We have to make everyone go on board and start thinking of how they can be financially free. How can they can build a legacy for themselves and for their children. In the end, I think for me, that's been successful. For me, that's about building a legacy. For me, that is how I would like to be remembered. I do not want to be the only person reaching that $1 million milestone. I want to bring other people along with me so they can be able to also reach that $1 million milestone. And of course, if I can even bring one person to reach that milestone, I will be very happy. So remember, let us win together. It's not just about your goals, it's also about other people, bringing them along the way to reach to make sure they achieve their goals. I hope you had a beautiful, you enjoyed this week's tea, and of course, have a beautiful day and week. God bless.